Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Dan Wynn, and welcome to the Financial Freedom Journal. Today, we're bringing on another host. His name is Mike Glaspie. It was episode 10 on the Financial Freedom Journal, so definitely go check out that episode. What I wanted to do in this episode, or what we wanted to do in this episode, is talk about why we decided to partner up and why we're both so passionate about sharing wealth building techniques and just Financial Freedom Journal or financial freedom in general. So I want to talk about, first we'll start by, kind of talking about how we met, and then we'll go into a few other things from there. So talking about how we met, you want to start that, start that off?
Yeah, no worries, man. It was actually out at GrowthCon in Miami, Florida.
10X.
Yeah, 10X, baby. Grant Cardone's conference that he hosts annually. I believe that was GrowthCon 3. And that was February of 2019, I think it was. And yeah, we were just walking around. Me and my real estate team were out there. And I think you overheard us say something or something like that. But Dan kind of came up, spearheaded the conversation, and got an impromptu interview from us, YouTube channel. And yeah, man, we went from there. After that, we kind of kept in contact. You had Shelby Osborne, one of my team members and partners, on your podcast originally before me, and then kind of followed suit with you a couple episodes later, man, and here we are.
Yeah, man, at the 10X Growth Conference, it's Grant Cardone's things. They're a huge thing in Miami. We're down in beautiful Miami, Florida, out there salsa and stuff. But it was a great time. And they had this heroes badge, right, which was for any of the anyone who was a military or active police or firefighter, any kind of civil servant or public servant. And you got these tickets and you can go there, but we had these special badges so we could kind of identify each other through that, basically. And yeah, that's how I saw them. Check them out. Make sure to go check out that interview. You can see it. The link will be actually above to that YouTube video, so check that out. But yeah, went there, had a conversation. It was great. Linked up with Shelby and the whole 5 Pillars team, and then Mike was there as well, and we got to talking, and we've been talking ever since. So it's kind of one of those things about networking, right? The power of networking. You never know who you're going to meet and who you're going to potentially partner with. So it's definitely true. So so I had the interview with Mike, like I said, episode 10, and that was maybe a couple months ago. And I think we just connected. I really think we connected, and I pretty much immediately asked him. I was like, "Hey, man, you want to come, join this podcast with me, and we can kind of host it together." So I chose him. I asked Mike because we have a lot of synergies together. Obviously, we're military. I have no hair on my face. He has hair on his face. But he has no hair on his head. I got hair on my head. So, yeah, the yin and yang there. So, but yeah, so he's a commercial real estate broker, obviously a veteran. He works in the special operations community, and I think we just kind of clicked, and I think he puts off a great vibe, and he brings a lot of value to the platform as well. You get a different perspective. Having 2 hosts will give you, like I said, double the knowledge, double the experience, and just double the fun, right? So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I asked Mike to join. I never really asked you what's one of the reasons, why'd you say yes, I guess.
I accepted it. I accepted the offer. So honestly, one of the things that I've learned throughout this entire journey, just in life, really, because it happens in the military as well, but you can only do so much by yourself, period. It's only through partnership do you see the exponential growth. And, I can give my real estate journey, I can use that as a testimonial for my growth over the past year and a half that I've been partnered with Shelby and the rest of 5 Pillars team. My growth has just been astronomical. And you have to have, like you mentioned, those synergies. You got to be like-minded. You got to be on the same page with the individuals that you partner with. You got to have the same drive. And seeing your content, meeting you at GrowthCon, seeing your energy, I always knew that I wanted to step out into this space, but I didn't really have the time or the knowledge to dedicate to understanding the platform itself. You have that. You have the knowledge, you have the base, you have the platform, you have the drive. You came from the same community. We understand each other. We can say things, certain terminology, I guess, that the military uses, and go back and forth and understand those things, man. So it was pretty much a no-brainer for me when you presented that offer, and I'm very thankful for it too, by the way. So thank you very much for inviting me onto the platform, and I'm ready to share some knowledge, man.
Yeah, man. Let's spin it up. I'm really excited about this. And like you said, I mean, these partnerships for exponential growth. My buddy Alvin Cavalier says nothing exists in isolation. He says that a lot. And when you think about it, it's true. You know, the way you grow, the way you really build is by partnering. And this is not just true with a podcast or a YouTube channel, but it's also true with, you know, taking down that major deal. You talk about syndications and you talk about just partnering on your first deal. I get so many questions about people asking, hey, how do I, you know, get into real estate, or how do I close on my first deal? And then I ask about, hey, have you thought about possibly partnering with somebody? And, you know, you kind of get that look like, no, I really want to do it on myself. I have to have control. I have to do everything. But that's one of those kind of false ideologies, I guess.
It's fear is what it is.
Yeah, big time. It's definitely a fear that that I think it takes a little while for most people to get past, because I was in the same situation. I felt, you know, I had to do everything by myself, and now all I do is try to partner with everything. Like I try to find partners everywhere. If you have something of value, I'd like to partner with you for the most part, you know, so I can bring what I have, and then you can bring what you have. And like I said, the yin and yang, you know, no hair type thing, you know. We got that there. So but yeah, so that's the story of how we met. You know, that's why I wanted to bring Mike on. And would you mind sharing just a little bit about your background, as far as maybe some of just, you know, what you're doing up there in Fayetteville?
Yep. So I'll stick primarily to my real estate background. You can hear a little bit about my military background in episode 10. But as far as real estate goes, what we've done is we've created an investor-centric realtor team, right? All of our agents focus on the investor clients, which is very rare in any market, but specifically in our market, we're the only team that actually does that. We also focus on allowing investors to experience and capture the equity that they would if no realtor was in the game. So to give a quick example, typically they tell investors, go to a wholesaler or start wholesaling yourself, rehab the property, and go refinance the property, like the Burr method that was made popular by Bigger Pockets. That way you can retain the equity. Because typically if you go to a turnkey company, they'll do all the rehab for you and then sell it at market value and you get no equity. Well, what we've done is we've created that system, and we put that system in place to where the investor can come and use an agent to be able to find the right property. We have contractors on the ground that'll do the work for them. We have property managers on the back end. We have a lender on the back end that'll refinance, and so forth and so on. So that model is very, very unique. And we've now not only, you know, serviced over 100 clients with it, but we've built a team of 8 agents, 2 full-time admin, and so forth and so on that can do that. And the reason why that was so important to us, the reason why we wanted to make that model work, is because we all were investors first. We all had the drive and the reason and the desire to find a vehicle to allow us to separate ourselves from a 9-to-5 and go out and spend those times with our family, with the ones we love, not necessarily deploy overseas, you know, every 6 months for 6 years in a row and things of that nature. So it was really imperative that we found a solution to our problems, and we needed to share that with as many investors as possible. And that's kind of where it all started with us.
Yeah, big time. And then obviously the other things he's bringing to the table outside of just being a commercial realtor is that experience that he kind of touched on a little bit. He's also an investor himself. I think you got like over 25 units right now.
It's actually grown significantly since our last conversation. Just over 40 now.
Oh my God, that's what I'm talking about. There we go. Yeah. We're talking about in a matter of what, 2 months? Dang on near double it.
Started closing, yeah.
Excellent. So that's what I'm talking about. That experience. He has that experience there as well. So you're getting kind of twice the value for one of these podcasts, and we can bring both of them with us. The questions that we ask, hopefully we can better, we can ask our guests better questions to hopefully serve you, the listener, so you get more value out of it as well. And then obviously, you know, two people on the episode, it's always more fun. Now, you know, he kind of touched on a little bit about, you know, so you don't necessarily have to be deploying and basically spending all of your time involved in you know what you're doing on the day to day. So I think some of us get kind of caught up in that, and we don't spend enough time with family. We don't spend enough time with our loved ones, and that kind of rolls right into one of the reasons why we're doing this. One of the reasons why we created this platform, and we're building this platform. And it's not just for military, but obviously we both are military, and we have that in common. So we understand any of our veterans out there that are listening that might feel overwhelmed, especially as they're coming up close to retirement, or just in general, like, hey man, I'm not making enough money, or hey, I don't plan to. You know, there's a lot of great veterans, there's a lot of great soldiers out there that just don't plan to do 20 years, and they might want to get out in 10 years or so. And that's what this platform is for. Hey, you can start investing. You can start building generational wealth and investing not just in real estate, but just building passive income streams while you're in the military. And it doesn't affect, you know, your job. It, in my opinion, it actually makes you a better soldier, because that's more experiences that you can bring, and you can, you know, share with your soldiers as well, and change their lives also. But that's one of the reasons why we kind of are building on this platform. So
Absolutely, man, because it's there was a meme I just saw recently, where the individual was like, I think it was Will Smith actually, but he was kind of looking, and the meme was like, so you mean to tell me I worked for 50 years of my life to enjoy 17 years of freedom or 11 years of freedom? And he was like, huh. So, I mean, that's, when you actually think about it like that, I mean, we are taught as a society, you go to school for however long, right, to 12th grade, which seems forever. Then you need to go to college for an additional 4, 8 years, 6 years, whatever the case is. Why? So you can go work for another 40 years
40 years.
before you can retire and enjoy your life. Even the Fidelity commercials and Edward Jones commercials or whatever, they'll say like, you know, they'll show the old couple on the pontoon boat with their children. It's like, I finally get to enjoy life. It's like, what do you mean? So yeah, we're 100% on the same page, man. It's about, you know, we work hard. Everybody works hard, right? It's not just military folks. There's single families out there. There's families that are living paycheck to paycheck. Everybody works hard. It's about leveraging your time and energy now to build a future for you and your children, and teaching your children and teaching the next generation what right looks like. Like, we don't have to work 9 to 5 for 40 years to enjoy the last 10 years peacefully, right? We can build it up a lot quicker than that. We can teach our next generation, look guys, this is how you leverage, this is how you build wealth, right? And that's how you get that generational wealth going. So you're right on the money with that, man. We both see it's very important to us that we share it with as many people as possible.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what this episode was about. It's a very short episode. We just wanted to kind of introduce what we're doing, kind of some of the changes that are happening on the platform, and yeah, that's about it. So,
yep, I appreciate it again. I'm happy to be here. We're about to double the pleasure, double the fun, and yeah, let's rock and roll.
All right, and with that said, this is Dan Wynn.
Mike Glaspie.
Signing off.
Wasn't prepared for that one, but I like.
Yeah. I didn't.
Tell him come up in the corner. It's like, come on, Mike.